Happy New Year, my friend! In this video, I'm going to talk about the one word I chose for 2022 and how that went, and I will reveal what I chose for my 2023 word and why I chose it, so let's get right into that. So you may have heard people talking about their one word, or some people will say intention or theme. And I have a whole blog post about that in the description down below if you want to learn more about that and how to choose your own. And I have a free worksheet for you as well to help. But just to summarize, for me at least, I usually choose something that either is kind of like an umbrella for a lot of different goals, not a lot, for my like top priority goals that I want to focus on in the new year, or perhaps it's like some kind of theme or something that I just want to remember, something that I'm needing reminding of in the next year. In 2022, I chose two words, and those were connect and celebrate. If you want to watch last year's video about why I chose those two words, you can click right up here to watch that. My collar is inside out. But the summary for connect, as you can probably guess, is that I wanted to connect more, whether it be through networking or collaborating with other creators, making some new friendships, deepening old friendships. And honestly, it didn't go super well in the first half, possibly even the first 2/3 of the year, because I was dealing with some extra mental health issues and fatigue, and so it made things really, really hard. And I still had a lot of other things that I was needing to get done in my life. And so any bit of energy I had needed to go to those things. So I didn't connect as much as I would like. As you can probably see on my channel, there's a big gap. I had the lowest amount of videos I've ever had in a year for my YouTube channel. I only had 2 videos, I think. But I got connected with a new doctor, and I started seeing a psychiatrist for the first time. And I'm hoping to soon make a video kind of talking more about my mental health journey up to this point, and then another video about my journey of trying to find out if I have ADHD and how that went, seeing my psychiatrist to, kind of get tested for that. And I did have some good connective moments though, like times I did get to video call some friends and spend some time with family, especially at the end of this year, with the holidays. And I did collaborate with Joyce Meng. She has a YouTube channel called Type Talks, where she talks about personality, and she goes really in depth with like interviews and panel interviews of people of different Myers-Briggs types, talking about the cognitive functions in a lot more depth. And so I was invited to be on a video with 7 other female INFJ content creators, and that was one of my top highlights of the year, honestly, to be able to connect. Well, Joyce is already such a wonderful person, but to be able to connect with other women like me who are INFJs and also are out there creating YouTube videos or other kinds of content, and it was just such a good connective experience. And I also connected more with Up for the Challenge, and he has several YouTube channels, but I guested on his YouTube podcast called It's Good to Talk, where I talked about my mental health journey. So thank you to both of you guys for letting me come on and be a part of your channels. It was all really fun for me, and I'm hoping to do a lot more of that in the new year and create a lot more videos for my own channel. And then for my second word, celebrate, it was kind of a continuation of the year prior, 2021. I chose the phrase make mistakes, and you can watch that video here to get a longer explanation, but basically it was helping me to, work on my perfectionism, and it just naturally led into finding more positive things, finding and really acknowledging and celebrating my accomplishments, no matter how small. Every little bit of progress is progress. And in my journal, I did my first bullet journal this year. I'd never used one before because it just seemed overwhelming to me. I've always used ones with like week spreads already there, but I used my first bullet journal and wanted to show you where I had highlights at the beginning of each month. And I also highlighted the different highlights in different colors based on if it was a part of my focus to connect or celebrate. Like if it was something that I did to connect with other people and things that I thought were worth celebrating. Some of the things I got to celebrate this year, some of my major accomplishments, I have my little list here, so don't mind me if I'm looking down, but I ran in my first 5K. I had never done that before. I was in a running club for a very brief time in college, but I would call myself a runner very, very loosely. But I did this Couch to 5K app and trained for that, and in October I got to do this beautiful run through this orchard. There was a path through apple orchards, and then where you could see a pumpkin patch in the distance, and it was just so beautiful and such good weather, and I had so much fun. I ended up reading 22 books this year, and I'm hoping to try to beat that in the new year, so wish me luck. As I said before, I found a great new doctor and psychiatrist that have been super helpful. I got to attend a SoloCon for the second time, the Story Conference for the first time, and the first ever event of Wisdomania, and all of those were online this year, and that was a very connective time, getting to meet a lot of other creatives with the Story Conference, a lot of solopreneurs with the SoloCon, and a lot of people in the mental health field with Wisdomania. I decorated my Animal Crossing island so I could throw a graduation party for a friend. I finished the video game Ori and the Blind Forest. Oh my gosh, I think it is now probably in my top 5 games. I had so much fun, and it literally helped me through some depression. It was just such a beautiful game. The music was beautiful. It just brought me so much joy, and I can't wait to finish the second game this year. And though I didn't get as many blog posts and videos out as I would have liked, I did still get some done. You know, all the planning and the writing and the editing and the recording and the video editing and the art for that. So that's still something to be celebrated. And the 2 videos I got out were my 2022 focus, and I did one for Star Wars Day called Lessons from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. And the blog post I got out was my 2022 focus, so the blog post version of that YouTube video. Am I Fine at 29, which was a post I had out for my birthday, and you know, as you can guess, I turned 29, and is a part of Geek Dis, run by Heather of Just Geeking By, which is a month-long discussion on disability representation in media. I wrote a blog post called How I Blogged for 7 Years with Depression. I mentioned it in a past video, but I recently became a community leader for the Mental Health Blog Awards, and so this past year, I got to help plan that and ran the social media pages during the event, and I also made an introduction video for it. And it's also such a connective time. I got to meet with a lot of different mental health creators. Most of them are based in the UK because the event itself is UK based, but there's people from all over the world, and it's just so much fun and really good to get to connect with other people doing kind of similar things and doing great work for mental health awareness. If my calculations are correct, I created around 19 art pieces. 15 of them were for a commission, and the others were for some other things. And I bought my first ever graphics monitor. So instead of, I used to have a tablet where you draw on that while looking up here. And so it's a little bit of a disconnect, but you get used to it. But with this graphics monitor, you can draw right onto the screen, and it's so helpful because, you know, you're precisely drawing right where you want it. And yeah, just really sped up my process, and I love it so much. Another big thing to celebrate, I updated my resume. I had 2 great interviews, and I got a job part-time at the library, and it has been so much better than I mean, I thought it was going to be great, but it's even better than I imagined, and everybody there is so nice, and it is just like the perfect job for me, and I am loving it. And so it will help me have some more predictable income while I then in my spare time continue to create content for you guys. So let's move on to what I chose as my word for 2023. The word I chose was clear. And for me, it has 3 major things to it, and I realized they can all start with B's. So first of all, brand. I'm wanting to get clearer, gain some more clarity on what I'm gonna do moving forward, assessing where I've been, what I've created, where I was wanting to go, and what is now a better fit for me and the people that I want to serve, all those good things. Where do I want to go with my life, and therefore where do I want to take this channel and my blog and just my whole brand, all the things that I do, the services that I offer, the products that I create, all that jazz. The second B is brain fog. It's something that I've struggled with my whole life. Certain seasons of my life have been worse than others, but this past year was just especially bad, where I really struggled with derealization and just feeling like I was living in a dream. Like just everything felt fuzzy and muted and just lacking that clarity, where it just felt like I was living a few inches behind my eyes. And so I'm wanting to try to continue making progress and figuring out what I can do to make that better, to feel more present and alert and clear-headed. And then the third B is boxes. I kept saying all year that I was going to go through all of these storage boxes and, get rid of things that I don't need anymore, consolidating the boxes, reducing the amount of things I have, selling stuff I don't need or donating it, just overall clearing my living space of the clutter and the things I don't need. And so, yeah, there's a few other things, but those are like my top 3 priorities of why I chose the word clear or clarity. And if you've been around here before, you know that I like to choose something to represent my word of the year that I can have somewhere as a reminder. For example, in the past, I've had custom artwork done, some to hang on my wall. One year I had it on my lock screen of my phone. I've had bracelets engraved, and last year I had a keychain engraved with the word connect. And I also had nail polish that had confetti in it to represent my word celebrate. To help me remember my word for this year, I made a collage in the back of my 2023 planner. I also bought a lion's mane supplement to try out. I had been reading about how the lion's mane mushroom is particularly good for your brain and cognitive function and memory and clearing brain fog. So yeah, that's what I need, so I'm trying that out. And even though I don't personally believe in crystals, I got a rainbow fluorite and clear quartz crystal just to represent my word of the year. And I also got a rosemary and peppermint scented candle, because those are both scents that are apparently good for clarity of mind. And so I thought that would be a good one to light when I'm having just my quiet time in the morning to clear my head and prepare for the day. And well, that's about it, at least to keep it short. So let me know down in the comments if you've chosen a word for your year and what it is. I would love to know. And let me know if there's any certain kind of video you'd like to see in this new year. If you're new to my channel, I help people learn more about who they are and how to apply that for personal growth and greater success with their goals. And so I cover a lot of things in the personal development realm, goals, and a lot of personality to help you learn more about your tendencies and the way you're wired and all that good stuff. So subscribe if that interests you. I also like to do videos about lessons from different geeky movies and shows and games that I like. So I'm kind of excited to make some more of those this year, so stay tuned. But until then, keep it real.